I remember the first time that we came to Buffalo as a family with the then two girls we now also have, Naomi, and showing them the house for the first time. It was all very brand new and there was a sense of nervousness. And then we went to Beth Tzedek, and the girls were invited up to the bima, and it just was feeling like that we were at home and the girls could have a home. They're very fortunate that they have more bubbies and zadies than most.
I grew up in Maryland, and my family went to services every Friday night, really didn't miss a week. That community where I was raised is the one that helped me love Judaism so much and get to start being a leader, when I was in high school. And it was in that sanctuary where I decided I wanted to become a rabbi during high holiday services, actually. I'm just feeling very inspired. And so when we bring our kids to Beth Tzedek every week, and they get to go up and, at the end to sing a Don Olam, that just feels like the next link in the chain for us, and that they're having that same experience of being embraced and accepted and loved by a Jewish community. We hope for the best. We don't know what life will bring, but it feels right to make this commitment now to participate in what the community is doing, and we really hope that other people in our generation will consider it too. I expect there to be a strong Hillel of all the Jewish college students who will continue to come to UB and all the local colleges, that they'll find community when they get there, and that our children and their friends will be emerging as the next leaders, and they'll be the ones who are running these programs and serving on boards and things like that, and that this is a community that makes room for those new ideas and really embraces them.
And that Life and Legacy is a down payment of sorts on that future trajectory of a Jewish community here in Buffalo.
So I grew up in a small city in Michigan, and there was a very small Jewish community there, but very, very tight-knit. There was only one synagogue, and I went to Sunday school all the way through, and with the same group of kids all the way through to high school, really. And my mom was always really involved in our synagogue. She helped with a lot of the cooking and a lot of the events and parties and different things that were planned there, which was nice. When we first moved to Buffalo, one of the very first things that we did was enroll Caroline's at the JCC for pre-K. So that's been a huge influence in her life, really through her formative years. And I always loved the idea that she could be at the JCC learning those traditions and seeing that in a group setting, not just at home, which was really, really nice. And we also enrolled her in Sunday school when she turned 5. Being not really a newcomer to Buffalo, but somebody who's not from here, it was so nice to be able to connect with some of the Jewish institutions here immediately, to connect with the JCC, to connect with our temple right away. And I think that in my case, I want to ensure that those institutions that have been in Buffalo for so long and have welcomed people from outside of the community and also served as a wonderful, way for the local community to all connect together, that those institutions continue on for Caroline's generation and beyond.
My parents were both Holocaust survivors. This is the book that my father wrote. It's his memoirs from his time growing up in Germany and in Sweden and then coming to America. I have a strong sense of loyalty being a Jew and belonging to the Jewish people. I am not a believer in the Jewish religion's many rules and laws, but try and follow its ethical and moral concepts. We like to keep up some of its traditions and observe its holidays. And I think that goes for us too. We are not super religious, but feel very much a part of the Jewish tradition, and it's an important part of our lives. So when the Life and Legacy program started, we wanted to make a commitment ourselves, but I also talked to my father, because he is generous. I said, can you give to this program in Buffalo, where of course you don't live? He still lives in Los Angeles. So we actually gonna have a commitment from both him and from us.
You grew up hearing about how even just little things to help other people can really make a really huge difference in their lives. And it might not be that big of a thing to you, but it can make all the difference for the other person.
There was the Yom HaShoah. She was very little. She didn't want to go. And then I said to her, no, we are leaving at 10 o'clock. You can stay home. You're old enough to choose. But if we don't remember those children who died, then who will? And I went in the kitchen and I prayed. And sure enough, at 10 o'clock, there she stood in her prettiest dress, ready to go.
I'm getting married later this year, and I think for me, keeping the Jewish community very active and around in Buffalo in particular is very important to me, because I plan to hopefully have a family soon and begin that in the next few years. And I want to raise my family in Jewish Buffalo the way me and my sister were raised, and to be able to go to synagogue, to go to different organizations like PJ Library and PJ Our Way, and to be able to meet other Jewish peers and get that sense of identity in their own lives and feel like they are part of this really wonderful community.
It's just 3 years after Valerie passed away. And to fulfill our dream, I've made our commitment to Kadima, TBZ, and Federation. My hopes are the hopes of every family. A bat mitzvah for each of them, standing under the chuppah, and having children of their own. And at the heart of that, if we're lucky enough that they'll be in Buffalo too, having strong Buffalo institutions. And that's what Life and Legacy is all about.
We dream of our girls growing up as proud Jews, as realizing the gift that is being Jewish, to know where they come from and how being Jewish has affected them. I really believe the Life and Legacy program is a huge opportunity for Jewish Buffalo to really educate people on what legacy giving is and how to make an impact for such a long period of time on institutions that are most important. And Kadima is that for our family. Both Gabby and I graduated from Kadima, and it had an incredible, profound impact on our lives, and we know and hope it will for our kids and for so many other kids in Jewish Buffalo and who haven't even arrived in Jewish Buffalo.
I want to be with my girls, my father and my brother, my sister-in-law, and my last of my family.
And it's important that we understand where we came from. It's important that we connect with Israel. We want to make sure they're there for these two, our grandchildren, and for children all over Buffalo. And so I'm honored that I've just signed my letter of intent.
Well, actually, I was not comfortable being Jewish when I was growing up. And it really wasn't until I met Gord in my 30s that I felt like I had come home. He and his family were very involved with the community, and it was kind of a gross joke. They'd say, "We're afraid not to give to the community. The community's been so good to us. We have to continue doing this." And I thought, if I'm going to spend time with them, I better get involved too. So it kind of started that way. And then I found my own way to some of my favorites. The JCC I've been involved with a long time with early childhood education and camp most recently. Like, I'm very proud to wear my Lion of Judah, and for the Life and Legacies program, I've endowed my gift so that the Federation can continue to do all the incredibly wonderful projects that we do here in Buffalo and in Israel and across the world, really. We're doing important work, and it also brings up a lot of memories. And it's part of life, you know. Death is part of life, but it doesn't have to be the end of something. And, you know, talking about Gord and some of the things he did and some of the things I've done, I'm hoping that I can help to instill the traditions that have been started from Gord's family. And yes, traditions may change, but to understand the deep values of kindness, of community, remembering who we are, remembering what the Jewish people have gone through to get here. We must remember that and to share that with others, to move forward. And it's who we should be. It's who I am.